This episode supported by Sereth Logistics, Opposite Lock Africa, Tough Dog Suspensions, TAKLA Products, Tracks for Africa, Indeflate, and LACIE. Overlanding, by definition, is vehicle-dependent adventure travel. I overland travel because I enjoy the wild and the wild places I get to visit in Southern Africa. And as someone who really enjoys exploring and the spirit of travel, I class myself as an overlander. Overlanding in Africa comes with its challenges though, and that adds to the exploration of new, untamed places. Wherever you are in the world, make the excuse to get out and enjoy the adventure that is life. I'm Ryan Crocker, and this is 4x4 Ventures. This being episode 2, we pick up on day 4 of our adventure on a dirt road somewhere in Hwange National Park, Zimbabwe.
Morning, and welcome to day 4 at Hwange. We've seen some pretty cool stuff in the last couple of days, and we are making our way through the park, do a bit of dam hopping today, I think, and see what else we can find. How's your day going?
Yeah, exactly. As Rhys says, we think that it's so hot. We woke up at we were out of tents at 6:30 this morning. Rhys maybe a little bit earlier. And I tell you, guys, you will not believe how hot it is at 6:30 in the morning. I think if you want to do like really early game drives, you're going to have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, which is what 6 o'clock should look like. But I tell you, it's hot day. So we think that the animals at this time now, being 8 o'clock in the morning, we think they're going to want to settle at a dam, maybe get some water, maybe do an early morning stalk. And we're just taking it easy, just having a good time, taking it easy. Today we explore a different part of the national park than we have done in the past. Our plan is to try and get to Masuma Dam by about 12 o'clock in the midday, sit, park off and enjoy maybe a nice lunch, and then make our way to the sausage tree campsite at Chakabika. Let's see what we see, as old Rhys says. So we are here at Masuma Dam, and it's always fantastic to be here. One of the big things that you'll see straight away is just how empty the dam is. I think it's dropped maybe 3 meters since the last time we were here, and just to really emphasize just how hectic and tough the conditions are at the moment, this being the end of October. It just goes to show that, at this time of the year, it's very tough here. It's dry. There's not a lot of vegetation for the elephants to eat, and we actually think that's one of the reasons as to why you'll see so many carcasses. Rhys and I count 4 dead elephant carcasses here at the Masuma Dam, and we've spoken to a few other people that say it's roughly the same at dams like Shumba, Mandavu Dam. There are a few elephant carcasses around Hwange at this moment. And just as a result of it being very tough, those rains need to come. I think
like I say, I think the countries really need that water, and if the countries and bush don't, then the elephants sure do.
No, I didn't see a crop.
Some exciting news. We weren't going to stay here tonight on account of it just being so expensive, but we met a really lovely couple from the Netherlands, and they've said that we can camp here with them for the night. It's obviously, Masuma Dam is a once-off exclusive rate to those that pay it, but if you are able to stay with those people, then it's a flat rate of $180. So very thankful to them. Andre and Vera, thank you very, very much for being so open and suggestive to the idea of us camping here for the night. Rhys and I are absolutely ecstatic. We've got 3 nights at Chakabika. We were supposed to go there tonight, but yeah, I'm sure they can hold out for another night. We have to stay here. I mean, it's really happening here at Masuma Dam, and we think it's going to be a really great night. We cannot wait to show you what it's all about. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Again, with it being so hot and dry, the numbers of elephants heading for Masuma Dam increases to amounts that will truly blow your mind. We sit perched up and in the shade of the hide for a good part of 3/4 of the day, and then, as quick as the wind shifts, the once peaceful and intimate natures of these gentle giants changes into something wild and something primal. The space around the concrete weir becomes a center for argument between these gentle giants, as fights and jostling for position to get the cleanest water begins to seriously intensify. All of this unfolds a mere 8 meters from where we sit and bear witness to the madness of survival. A herd of 3 comes in, dehydrated and with young calf, bewildered and alone. We bear witness to the beginning of a story unfold that is as real and as harsh as it is uncommon.
Shame we had an elephant come in this morning, got into a bit of a scuffle with one of the other elephants that had a calf, a very small calf, and shame she collapsed right on the borehole fed weir. she collapsed on it, and she hasn't been able to get back up. I think just from sheer exhaustion and maybe malnourished in some regard. So it's never a nice thing, but she's behind me down over here. We're obviously hoping that she can find the energy to stand up, but she's been laying down now for a good hour and 45 minutes thereabouts. Absolutely brilliant to be here, and let's hold and keep fingers crossed that this female elephant makes it. So that's a bit sad. She looks like she's finally passed away. I think it was a struggle, eh? I think she battled for a good 3-4 hours. And yeah, doesn't look like she's breathing or her eyes are opening or closing anymore, or there's any movement in the trunk, which is a bit of a sad one, really. And it's one of those things. It's the way it works. It's the way nature is. And yeah, elephants are battling. I don't know how long this water is going to last for here at Masuma Dam. I'd say, what, Rhys, maybe 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I think they got about 2 weeks of water here. I think, if anything, they're really lucky that it's pumped in from borehole fed. But yeah, you can hear they're even grumbling and rumbling out there in the plains, and they just seem very disgruntled. And yeah, tough one. The realization that life continues is a saying that we all hear and know all too well. But when death happens this close and under these circumstances, a certain excitement leaves the group from the viewing hide. With the sun beginning to set, it's a somber moment as we mourn for this gentle giant. But the evidence of life continuing for the strong is all around us, and as the dam serves the so many fighting hard against the harsh elements and time.
waking the following morning to a sunrise like most days. The cool, cold, lifeless body of the group's matriarch lies still and motionless, as a herd of two comes by to greet and say final goodbyes. Time for a change as we pack up, say our goodbyes to our hosts and make our way to the southern parts of the Hwange National Park. Good morning, and what an unbelievable morning it is. It really is, for the simple fact that yesterday you couldn't have written the script any better. Unfortunately, we had not one but two elephants die literally while we were watching Masuma Dam, and never a nice thing to see, but such is the way nature goes, survival of the fittest. But now we are off to go and explore the southern parts of the Hwange National Park. We're heading to Shumba Dam or Pan, and then onwards to main camp to go and find and see what we see. Let's do that. Oh, and I got coffee this morning, which is lekker. Rhys, how are you doing this morning, buddy? And how's the driving going?
Doing very well. Driving as usual, because obviously I know what I'm doing. And I've had a great morning. I was up at about 4:30 watching over the Masuma Dam. Still lots of elephants around.
Rhys, how many elephants do you reckon visit Masuma Dam? Yeah, the whole of yesterday and last night, mate.
So Ryan's setting me up here because we had an argument. And he said there was 600 and I said 1,200. And quite easily I think it's 1,200, but Andre said 1,400 and we like Andre, so I'm going with his number.
Yeah, I reckon there's way more than 1,200, and there's another dead elephant here on the road. My word. I mean, they're dropping like flies here, hey? I'm gonna say 2,000. Maybe even 2,500. It is you actually will not believe the numbers, hey Rhys? I mean it's
insane.
It's almost mind-blowing, and I know that there are those of you out there going, oh, 2,500. I'm telling you, you can't film them all. I mean, it's impossible, and you can't sit and count them all. It's impossible. But the numbers are massive, man. I think, and don't quote me on this, but Andre was saying that there's 35,000 elephants in Hwange. So yeah, I don't think it's too far-fetched, man. They've got no water. There's no water. There's nothing for them to eat.
There must have been 200 there at one stage.
Yeah, at one stage, definitely, eh? Easy 200, man.
200 easy.
And then how nice was it when the buffalo and the hippo and everything was out of the dam, all on the fringes.
Yeah, two of the big five next to each other.
Yeah, it was something else, man. Something else. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Our advice is, even though Masuma Dam is really expensive at $50 per person per night, our advice is that try and book it exclusive. You have total ownership of the campsite. They have a new ablution block. The pressure is not good on the water, if I'm really honest, but it is a really updated, modern and new sort of bathroom area. And once they get that power in and pressure on the pump or the water, it's going to be a really good place to camp. And it's just simply stunning on the Masuma Dam. And we've had an absolutely magic time, even though there's death and massacre all around Masuma Dam. So it's one of those things that, yeah, you know, nature
finds a way.
Nature does find a way. Oh, Rhys nearly hit a hornbill. This guy is definitely driving like Nasa Alatia. We need to look for lions, Rhys. We need to look for lions, my man. No. You need to use those special blue glasses of yours with X-ray vision. Please, can we look in Kangela for lions and wild dogs? Everyone has seen wild dog and lion.
Except us.
Except for us. And I'm getting a bit frustrated now. We need to do it. Wow, 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 wow. We've just come back from Shumba Pan and waterhole, and I'm not even going to tell you, I'm just going to say, have a look at this. Simply stunning. Have a look at this. Rhys, what did you think of Shumba Pan and waterhole, mate?
Shumba Pan was incredible. There was so much to look at. I've never seen so much plains game in one place, and the variety was insane.
How nice was it to see those roan antelope, eh?
It was cool. They're quite skittish, those. They took a while to get to the water, but once they were there, then they were in the water. That's really cool.
Give people an idea of the roads in Hwange. What are we driving now, and how have you found it?
So at the moment we're driving a road to main camp, which was tarred, so the tar's crumbling, but the roads are generally not too bad. There's 1 or 2 sections where 4x4 is needed, and quite a bit of corrugation every now and again. But other than that, yeah, there's nothing. I think because it hasn't been rain, that's why the roads don't seem so bad. Sorry, just looking at a pan.
We are now on the search for 3 things. 1, sable. 2, lion. And 3, if they are with us, the gods, that is, wild dog. Now, everyone we've chatted to has seen lion and wild dog. And as is the case with Rhys and I.
The curse continues.
Yeah, either the curse continues or we're just not working hard enough, which I'll tell you what, I feel like we're working very hard. But let's keep those fingers crossed, and hopefully we see the lion or wild dog or sable. I'll be happy with any one of the 3. was really lekker. Just on a game drive heading towards main camp in Hwange, and we ran into an old school buddy of mine. He said, listen guys, you've got two options. Option A, go and see 17 wild dog, and option B, go and see 5 male lion. So we chose the 5 male lion, and we got there at Shumba Pan or waterhole, and they weren't there. I think it's just too hot, if I'm honest. So we made a beeline for the wild dogs. An 8.6 kilometer drive from Shumba Dam Pan, and there they were, underneath a massive jackalberry tree in the shade, right next to a little waterhole. And shame, it looked like the vultures were feeding on a baby elephant carcass. So again, more elephant deaths in Hwange.
Receiving word from Andre over in Holland, he found out from the group Friends of Hwange that the elephants weren't dying from anthrax, drought or hunger, but rather because of a bacteria. This is what Friends of Hwange reported. Anthrax deaths are usually individual and widespread, and in this case the elephants died in a cluster. The group user Chris suspected something amiss and sent samples to international labs with facilities to do comprehensive tests. Eventually, Pasteurella biscard taxon 45 was identified, a bacteria that results in a buildup of blood toxins, causing septicemia and sudden death. Hwange main camp is some 65 kilometers from Masuma Dam and is a hive of activity as safari vehicles fill up with fuel and transport guests to the various lodges in and around this area. There is Wi-Fi available at reception and Visa card is accepted. The restaurant is simple and is okay for simple meals.
So growing young lad here. Rhys, where are we? Tell the viewers what's been happening, buddy.
Sure, hold on, I've got too many bubbles in my eyes. So we have traveled from the Masuma Dam to main camp, which was about 80 k's. We were on the way, we saw a wild dog, which is really cool. And now we're enjoying an ice cold Coke at the restaurant, and we've just ordered some food in dollars.
So something very strange going on here. Apparently, shame they lost my burger top to the wind or a door, and yeah, they don't have a new roll to replace it. So I'm short a roll top on my cheeseburger. But anyways, let's dig in. Feeling absolutely knackered, we are on a mission to get back north and make it to Chakabika. To spend our last 2 nights in the national park takes the better part of 4 hours to do.
The drive to this part of the park isn't easy and takes time at the lower speeds one travels on account of the tougher, more preferred road conditions. Unfortunately, we have to cut our stay in the national park short by a day on account of budget constraints. It's amazing to think that this trip wasn't possible up to 2 weeks previous. Now, we find ourselves in 4-low, driving hard out here in the wilds of the Hwange National Park, on roads that are not only tough, but roads that will test even the hardiest of overlanding vehicles. I am truly humbled that we are here now and enjoying the drive through a wild part of this park, and in a revived off-road capable vehicle. I didn't think that this adventure was going to happen, and in all honesty, and to be able to do it now just makes it all that more special. A moment that I am truly thankful for, and a moment I'll never forget as we drive these hard roads to the lodge and campsite. As we are camping here for 2 nights, there's no time like the time you have to set up the full shop. So, out with the 270-degree manta ray awning from Easy Awn. It's a great lightweight awning made of aluminium and non-rip canvas that takes minutes to set up. And it's one of those bits of gear that I say you'd rather have and not need it than need it and not have it. It makes a campsite feel that little bit more protected, a campsite that feels like a barrier to any harsh elements that could form, and on this instance, a great resistance to the sun. I've used this Easy Awn product now for a good part of a year, and I'm happy to report that it is a great bit of kit for the kinds of overlanding trips that I do. If anything, I may suggest it needs a way to prevent water buildup on the canvas when it rains, especially when left open at night and when it really comes down. I lower every alternate awning pole to prevent this from happening, and it works just fine. With full setup complete some 10 minutes later, and depending on how hard the ground is, we sit back and enjoy the cooler weather blowing in. A welcome relief to the harsh conditions we've been experiencing up to this point.
So we pulled into Chakabika about an hour ago, and the time now is 6 o'clock in the evening. Now we don't want to light a fire because I tell you what, we've got what looks like a massive storm cell pulling in, huge cumulonimbus clouds, a lot of lightning, and yeah, we're a little bit freaked out. We're happy that it's going to rain, but it looks like it's going to be a big one. So we battened down the hatches, and I tell you what's come in real handy is the Wild Dog Adventure Gear storm straps. I've used those, I always use them to hold the awning. I'm using the Easy Awn 270-degree manta ray awning, and I would advise anyone when putting up an awning just use the storm straps from Wild Dog Adventure Gear. They're proper, and I mean absolutely proper. They've never failed me. Use those just to hold your awning down, because we've had it where 120 km/h winds will come through your camp and literally strip your campsite clean. So just trust me, always use a really reliable set of storm straps. Look, we're excited. It's been a really hot day. The temperature has cooled down. You can hear the wind pumping through. We're underneath the sausage tree where old Rhys and I were once very scared and frightened for the elephants. It's really nice now because of the dry period. All the low-lying bush and thick, dense bush seems to be thinned out quite a bit. So I think we're going to be fine. And I tell you what, we've got a magic sunset happening over there, and we've got a big storm cell brewing behind us, and we're stuck in the middle. We've got 2 nights here at Sausage Tree Campsite in the Chakabika private concession area, and we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really chilled 2 days. We need to catch up. Tomorrow's a day off. We're taking a day off. It's day 6 in on the trip, and we need a day off. Man, it's just so hot, and we've been working early mornings and late evenings. So yeah, I think a well-deserved break is in order. Sure, let's get prepared for this storm. It looks like it might miss us, but you never know with these things, eh?
No, I'm not worried. Actually, it's quite pleasant here. But if that comes in properly, we're going to test the waterproofness of canvas.
And the eye camper.
And the eye camper. And
everything else.
If it comes in properly, we'll probably test the waterproofness of the Ranger.
Yeah. And I know there's a leak in that thing.
Oh, it's exciting. We asked for water.
It's nice and cool now, eh?
It has cooled down a lot. The wind is pumping though.
It's our last day, and what a sunrise to wake up to early morning. Just a reminder, always be vigilant in the wild areas of Africa in the early mornings and evenings for elephant, buffalo, lion and leopard, as you are a guest in these wild places, and complacency sets in very quickly as you become comfortable.
Yeah, Rhys, what happened last night, bro?
So, I don't know what time it was, but I woke up and I could smell something and I wasn't sure what it was. And my mesh on my tent, I can see straight through, and our table is just over there, and I could see a leopard sitting underneath the table. And I sat and watched him for a little while because I didn't know what was going on, and then when I laid down, he kind of moved off over the rocks and disappeared off into the bushes. So that was quite an experience.
What time do you reckon that was?
I honestly have no idea. It must have been maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, around there. Yeah.
And how did you handle it, my man? Did you take it in all right, bro?
I had the fear because I thought he could see me through the fence, through the net.
Yeah, and he can see you right through that mesh.
And I could see him looking at me, and I didn't want to turn on any torches or anything. So, yeah, it was good. Lekker.
Hey, well, what a morning.
Yeah, it was a good morning.
Morning, and our first morning at Sausage Tree Campsite at Chakabika, and yeah, quite an exciting night for old Rhys. He saw a leopard in our camp. He reckons it's a young one, and I think the only reason he saw it was because of the full moon, and it was literally full moon. You could see everything right up to the bushes. So that's pretty hair-raising. Hey? Now we have been told that there is a leopard in the area. It's territory. They hear it from camp when it barks. Brr, brr, brr. So yeah, I reckon that must have been absolutely freaky, blimmin' scary even. And he sat up on his chair with this big knife. He's got a big knife. I'll show it to you later. I mean, can you just imagine? We're sitting here now. The sun is rising. We also heard hyena, lots of hyena last night. I heard them early this morning at about
maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And Rhys reckons he heard them when we went to bed. He heard them the whole night. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really good to be here in the wild in Hwange, and enjoying what it is and what it's all about. But yeah, let's get a cup of coffee.
The day is spent washing up, setting up solar, enjoying a cold shower, taking it easy, and dumping footage onto the trusty LACIE ruggeds from the past days of hard graft.
Where are you going and what are you doing, Rhys?
About to have a bush shower.
Geez, you look gorgeous.
Yeah, I just had a nap. I've been up early every day and I went back to sleep. And my oven woke me up because it must have been about 600 degrees inside there.
Would this be your first bush shower
Yes, actually,
when overlanding?
when overlanding. It's my first attempt. Wish me luck. I don't think drowning is a problem. Maybe if something smells some fresh water, might come running to find out what it is. It's amazing.
So the shower's not too bad, works good.
Works incredibly. Now I put too much soap in my hand.
There we go, good luck.
A day to take it easy and soak it all up, as the pesky mopani flies irritate the living crap out of us. We even had my mate Peter pulling in from Hwange town to share the afternoon with us. So good to experience this special place with good friends as the day comes to an end.
Good morning, and we are now officially on day 7 of our Hwange 4x4 Ventures trip, and it has been absolutely epic. We had 2 nights at the Sausage Tree campsite at Chakabika,
So the plans today, well, this one is quite interesting. From this point on, we're absolutely winging it. We do have a slight plan though, and no bookings made, nothing made. No one's expecting us anywhere other than Pandamatenga border post and Kwana King fuel depot where we have to fill up. But that's it. From that point on, we're winging it, and we're gonna see where this adventure takes us. So we are on our way out of Hwange, and I just thought what you need to know about Hwange. I never knew this up until this very trip, because we explored more of the national park. Hwange is cut up or divided up into unofficially 3 sort of areas of the national park. There's the south of the national park, which consists of main camp and a few water holes up to Shumba Pan, and then from Shumba Pan there are 2 other sections. There is the Robin Camps section, which is the northwestern side of the national park, and then there's the Sinamatelan side of the national park, which is the northeastern side of the national park. The north of the national park is a very hardier sort of ecosystem than the south. The south is a lot greener, has higher, larger camel thorn trees and acacia trees, whereas the northern parts are densely thickets of Mopani low-lying forests with a lot of hills. Another thing that's I never knew is that if you're going to be paying for the northwestern side of the park, you would do so at Robin's Camp, and if you're going to be paying for the northeastern part, obviously Sinamatelan, and if you're going to be paying or staying at the southern end of the park, you'd pay at Main Camp. Main Camp does have a small restaurant, and it only looks like recently it started gaining a little bit of traction. Also, with the southern part of the national park, there are what used to be tar roads that are now being graded away to being dirt roads. But that being said, the southern part of the park looks a lot better maintained as far as the road conditions go. With the northern parts, the parts that I seem to prefer, it's a true overlanding driving experience. The roads are harder, a lot more narrower. Bridges in some areas have been washed away, so you have to access 4 high and 4 low just to get through those parts, which, to be quite honest and fair, I prefer.
The drive out of Chakabika to the main gate closest to Robin's Camp will take a good part of 2 hours to do. Even though this might feel like the end of the adventure as we leave the amazing Hwange National Park, I tell you that it's only the beginning.
At this time of the year, being October, all the wildlife seems to congregate around or closer to the pans, waterholes and dams. So if you do venture into the Hwange National Park, make sure you go and visit those pans, waterholes and dams early morning or evening for the best possible game viewing experiences.
Day 7 in on a 19-day adventure, and I can't wait to show you what we get up to, the places we visit and wildlife we encounter, the problems we face and what we overcome. It's going to be magic, so do yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel, sign up to my Patreon page and follow the show on Instagram and Facebook. You'll be glad you did, as it's an adventure not to be missed.
So we've had 7 nights in the Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe. We entered in from Botswana at the Pandamatenga border post, and we're on our way out now to exit back through the Pandamatenga border post. 7 nights of absolute enjoyment exploring both the north and the south of Hwange National Park. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Till the next one, I'm Ryan Crocker from 4x4 Ventures, and from Rhys and I, we hope to see you out there. Stay safe, keep trucking. Until the next one, we'll see you out there. Cheers.
In the next episode,
We're going to try a new campsite tonight.
Rhys and I come up short.
So that was a bust.
We camp at a place that has a sunken hide. have unwanted visitors prowling our campsite, we finally find the lions and get close. And set up camp on the edge of the Hwange Delta along a river called Hwange. Where the wild really ramps up to another level. Coming soon. Thank you to my Patreon legends for their amazing support. A big thank you to the amazing people that donated to my Go Get crowdfund.